We've got our haul from the charity shop. Let's go through everything we found and show you what we're gonna add into the collection or flip for a profit on eBay. I'm just gonna pop into the post office and shoot off the 5 parcels that we've sold over the weekend, and then I'll head into the charity shop. I think that's actually a pretty good deal. Have a look this bad boy up. Got a patch in there where it's been cut before. We were about to pick it up and we did the double check. The wheels are absolutely destroyed. No one's going to be happy with that. So you are staying there. Voiceover Tom joining you here. There was these football boots that I saw in the kids section when I first walked in. I think they're like messy Adidas boots, but where they were kids size, I just didn't think that there was going to be too much money in them, so I left them. But after some research, it might have been a good pickup, who knows. Didn't pick this one up, but I was actually quite surprised by the values after looking it up. This guy is actually quite interesting. I was not expecting him to be worth that much. I've walked past him so many times. This time I actually looked him up. He's going to be coming home with me. Dora the Explorer there. Oh, who remembers these? Whoa. Some of these. Jeez. Brings back memories. Now, I don't normally pick this stuff up too often, but I still like to have a look at it, try and get familiar with some brands, see if there's any standout names or anything. Like those statues, you see them on all kinds of markets everywhere. Like, how do you know whether one's valuable or not? It's all in the name and the craftsman and the people that it came from. I do like to pick up some vintage kitchen items, or when it looks like it's a vintage kitchen item, because sometimes they sell quite well. People are trying to like recreate things from the past. If you want the real deal, you can only buy the original. This thing was interesting though. I did not have a clue what it was. I just thought it was really curious, and my friend is a tinkerer. He likes to fiddle with all kinds of electronics. And I've also had some people from overseas reaching out to me about interested in different electronic items, instruments and musical things. So there is a market for it. Even these obscure things that we don't think we know anything about, there are people out there hunting for them. Now I'm upstairs having a good glance at the media, see if there's any new DVDs. There's a few sealed box sets in there. I didn't bring that one home with me just because the margins weren't there. I think they had it priced at like $3.49. Sorry about the lights there, I wasn't sure what the camera was doing. Then we headed over to the board games, video games section. This is probably my favorite bit of the entire shop. That's why I'm giving it its due time. Not too many new titles. I'd seen all of these before, so I didn't need to look them up and see if there was any value hidden behind them. Waddingtons gets me going. Cluedo gets me going. Mystery jigsaw puzzle. Who knows if it's all going to be there. It's very 92. That one. Someone's clearing out there. 90s home by the looks of it. Know your partner. And we're back in the games room. We've got our haul from the charity shop. Let's go through everything we found and show you what we're gonna add into the collection or flip for a profit on eBay. First up, just wanted to feature this sold. Scheduled this last night to go out at 6:30 this morning, and it sold by 9 o'clock for £40. Now, I must have completely looked over all of this when I actually listed the item, but it had more damage on it than I was aware. There's some sort of, there's little chips and just like marks at the top. I'm not sure if it's picking up on the camera for you. And also like at the bottom of the handle, most of it is sealed, but there is actually marks on the bottom logo there. And just like a bit of general wear basically. So I messaged the seller and I let them know that there was more damage than I was originally aware of. I apologized. I said, are you still happy to go ahead with the purchase? Like, what is it you'd like to do? And they said, if you could refund a £5, I'm happy to go ahead. So I've sold this one now for £35 plus postage. Now that the sold's out of the way, let's get into what we found. We picked up this plush Winnie the Pooh, official from the Disney store, for $1.99. I can't find the exact date on the label or anything anywhere, so I'm not sure what year this one's actually from. It looks very similar to the ones that I had as a kid, and other than a bit of grub on his nose, it's in very good condition. Typically for plushies like this in the past, I've had from like 10 all the way to £20, so I'm probably going to be looking around 15 for this guy. Unless after I do some more digging and find out he's worth like 100 quid or something. But that's that one. Now I've seen this in there for ages. It's literally been in there for weeks. No one's bought it. I've even looked at it a few times and not even researched it for some reason. But it's this. It's an Eddie Stobbart truck toy. You can take the like shipping container off of it. It doesn't like attach to it properly. It just sort of rests on the top into these little like metal rivets that are there. But I finally looked this up today and I saw solds for £25 plus for just the truck. And that's without the case on the bottom. Now there's no major scratches or scuffs or wear to this truck or the model or anything. So we should be looking at fairly good condition. With the stand included, I could potentially be looking at 30, maybe even £40 for this one. I'll do my digging, get it listed, and let you know how it goes. Now, the manager in there, I've mentioned him a few times before. He's an absolute legend. He sorted me a banging deal on this cassette tape. He hadn't actually put them out yet, and he brought them out for me, like as he saw that I came in the shop and was like, hey, would you be interested in this? Gave it a scan. This one sells for around £15 to £20 on eBay, and he charged me 49p. They're just looking to move it on, get it gone. I'm happy to buy it, list it, sit on it for a while, and try and maximize my profits. That's just the cycle of this game we're all playing. Now this, it doesn't even hold too much value behind it, but I just thought it was really cool. It's the Waddington's Cluedo jigsaw puzzle, mystery jigsaw puzzle. You read the thrilling story. There's like a story to read of who murdered who with what weapon where, and then you put it together in the jigsaw puzzle. And there's actually like one of those little red magnifying glasses so that you can look over the puzzle and figure out the mysteries. It looked like someone had a 90s board game clear out. I nearly bought everything for myself, but I had the willpower to stop myself from picking up everything, and I just grabbed this one. It is from 1994, and it's the Killer on Board version. There's a few of these and there's like different scenarios so you can figure out which one was what. I think it was a pretty good idea, but I'm not sure how much they took off in the past. I couldn't find any solds for this particular one, but I've seen some listings for around £12 to £15. I can either try and go for something similar and sit on it for a while, or I could go cheaper, maybe $9.99, and get it sold sooner. But seeing as it's a jigsaw puzzle and it's not actually sealed in a bag inside, I'm going to have to put it together first, make sure all the pieces are there before we can move it on. It's only 750 pieces, so it shouldn't take too long, but hopefully we can brighten up a lazy Sunday afternoon. When I went upstairs, I was having a look around the media and things, and I didn't really take too much time to look at the clothing. There was one thing that stuck out to me though. It was this Crack Studios Australia jumper. Now that is my colour. I absolutely love this. It's got a nice vintage vibe to it. I since did a little bit of research into Crack Studios, and they are in fact a vintage brand from Australia. They produced clothes in the 90s. It's kind of like that streetwear, surfer wear, making the bridge over. And I know we're just approaching summer where it's getting really hot and it's not the time for needing a jumper, but it should be perfect for those chilled evenings. If we ever have like a campfire or we go somewhere and have a barbecue, it's the perfect kind of jumper to take so you can stay warm all evening. But really pleased with this one, super chill vibe. happy I picked it up. Now these next pickups you wouldn't have seen on camera. Now this is completely random and a personal purchase, but I grabbed this. Now don't tell me that these actually have some huge value behind them or something, because then I'm going to end up flipping it instead. But the idea was the next time we go for a picnic or a barbecue in the park, we could take this, screw it into the ground, and then you can attach your dog's lead here so they don't run off. You don't have to constantly be monitoring them, holding the leash, or let them off and then them run and you have to chase after them. You can simply just attach them onto here, they get a certain radius and they can stick around you. Something that we need for our dog. It's been a while since I've picked up a camera, but I grabbed this one today. It's a Gold Line Delta AF. It did come with some film, so we've got the Kodak Gold film that I think actually originally came with this camera when you like bought it in the packaging. And there was 2 additional film rolls to go with it as well. After doing a bit of research, I've seen that these go for around £7 each, so I can make a bundle of maybe 15 with free shipping, and then I can bundle the Kodak film, the camera and the case together for potentially another 15. Some of these cameras go for serious money. Unfortunately, this isn't one of those really sought after ones. It's not too popular of a brand or anything, but it's still vintage camera. I've done really well with some vintage camera film recently too. I bought it as part of a big bundle that I had. One sold within a day of listing and the other one by the end of the week. So hopefully I can do just as good on these more recent ones. I spotted these out the corner of my eye. I had absolutely no idea what they are. I've mentioned before, I'm not a comic guy. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't understand the values and how they fluctuate. So if you have any idea how much these are worth, please let me know down in the comments. But there's some cool comic books. There was $2.99 on the stack, so I thought, why not pick them up? We have War for Earth 3, Dark Knights of Steel, Dark Knights of Steel, Dark Knights of Steel, DC versus Vampires, and another DC versus Vampires. Looks like the Green Lantern as a vampire. All the ones that are part of a set I'm going to bundle together and try and make a listing that way. And the ones that are just individual titles, I'll try and sell them off individually. They might even become giveaways on Instagram or here on YouTube. Nearly forgot to feature this. They were just going to throw away this copy of Mario Kart on the Wii, and I was like, what the hell are you doing? Give me that now. Picked it up. It's just an empty case. There's no disc inside, and it is actually the European version. It's made in the USA, but it's got the ESRB on the back. For enfants et adultes. Please, I'm not trying to offend with any of these accents. It's just what's coming out, okay? It's just what's come out. But an empty case of the European version of Mario Kart on the Wii. Now we're on to the final pickups of the day and some of the best ones. So I paid £10 for these 4 strategy guides. I'll go through them individually for you now. I've only looked one of these up, so I'm not too sure on some of the values. I'll pop listings up on screen for you though. First up, Fallout 4's Vault Dwellers Survival Guide, the collector's edition. Now I couldn't tell if this wear was supposed to be like part of the book or not, but it's not. It's actually just some general wear. So I need to clean that off, get it nice and shiny. Inside is absolutely minty though. There's like no damage or marks at all. It doesn't even look like it's been flicked through, to be honest. But really cool, showing you like the insides of the game, the layouts of the maps and things. I was never too into my survival guides, to be honest. When I was a kid, they were too expensive for my mum to justify buying them. And when I got older, we've got the internet, so we don't really need them so much anymore. These are definitely more of a collector's item, and like if you love the franchise, you want to add this to your collection. Now that makes sense to me. Unfortunately, Fallout isn't one of those games that I played too much as a kid, so it doesn't tickle my nostalgia senses. The second one from the stack of 4 is the Dragon Age Inquisition Collector's Guide. Now, this is one of those games that my friends were always saying like, oh, are you playing this? Oh, are you playing that? I've been playing this. I've been playing that. I've been having a really good time. Why haven't you played it? Why haven't you played it, Tom? Why haven't you played it? I was playing 2 Worlds back then, and everyone else was playing this cool thing. This looks way more advanced, like much more is going on, so I may actually have to go back and give this one a play. Did you play Dragon Age? And do you recommend it? Again, the inside is absolutely beautiful. Looks like it's hardly been read, ever been used even. But just having a flick through here, looking at some of the artworks, it's like, it makes me want to play it. Like, this looks cool. This looks good. Sorry, I got lost reading that then. Dragon Age Inquisition, paid £2.50. It's worth this much. The penultimate pickup, and probably my favourite artwork of the lot, is this BioShock 2 Collector's Guide. There is a sleeve around the outside, and there is like the brown version underneath, but this sleeve is beautiful. I mean, in reality, it's quite ugly. Like, you wouldn't want to see this really, but it looks so cool, don't you think? BioShock was one of those games that my brother owned. He had the 360 first. He had BioShock first, and I'd like sneak into his room at night and like watch him play the game and get really scared and good times. But eventually I got to this point where I could play it myself. I had a console myself, and I had great fun trying to play through. It is still quite a difficult game, and with the adrenaline rush of being chased around everywhere, it's not for the faint-hearted. I've only ever played BioShock 1 and 2. I never even got to BioShock Infinite. Is that something I should go back and complete? Awesome artwork. Depends on how much this one's worth, but I may end up just keeping this one for myself. And last but not least, we have the money earner. Reaver is Industry. Fable-free collector's guide. I paid £2.50 for this as part of the bundle with the other 4, so £10 for all, but £2.50 into £40. Now I know certain games have like a cult following behind them and the value of their merchandise or collectibles can go up, but I had no idea that Fable was one of those games. This actually enlightened me that there's still money to be made in gaming books and gaming items. I mean, of course there is, but they're the kinds of things that we commonly see pushed to the side or forgotten about, and the games are pushed through to the forefront. Now I get it, everyone can play the game, but reading the book and finding out all the nitty-gritty details is only for a certain kind of person. I have a little flick through, entertain myself for 5 minutes, and then make £40 in the process. I really like having these kind of things on my store. It's not just a game, it's not just a book, it's a mixture of the two. Anything that's like that really, whether it's a toy and it's like a gaming toy, things that have crossovers, things that have collectability, things that are related to gaming. I love all that kind of stuff. Now they are quite heavy, so it might be a little bit more expensive to ship, but I'll just price that in. Thank you for joining me at this episode of Tommy Trades. If you've enjoyed the charity shop hunt and all the finds, be sure to smash the like button, hit subscribe so you don't miss any more, and comment down below, what was your favourite find from today's video? At the time of filming this, we've just surpassed 100 subscribers. Thank you all so much for subscribing. It means the absolute world to me. The fact that anyone wants to follow along or watch what I'm doing in this fun little journey of mine makes it all the more worthwhile. If you haven't seen them already, there's another 8 videos on my channel, so be sure to go and check them out if you want to see some more. Until then, stay blessed. Peace. And we're back in the games room. But I finally looked this up today, and I've seen, and that's without the stand on the bottom. Now there's no major scratches or scuffs or wear. He hadn't actually put them out yet. That's just the cycle this game. But I stopped it, but I had the willpower to stop myself from... When I went upstairs, I had a brief look at the media. I've since looked up. Now I don't normally pick... And there was 2 additional... I'm not a comic book... So if anyone would like to enlighten me as if I had... It's made in the USA. It's made in the USA, but it's called the ER... I'll go... The penultimate pickup was this... Now that BioShock was one of those games that I didn't... And last, but not least, now I know certain games have... This actually enlightened me. Now they're a little bit... I did a bit...